Good evening, all of you. My name is Dr. Gechiko Nyabwari. My presentation tonight is on mutuality, linkage, and interdependence between religion and science. What is science? What is religion? When we talk of science, we talk of discoveries. We talk of innovations. When we talk of faith, we talk of beliefs and practices related to the deity. And deity in this case means God, a superior being, a supernatural being, a being higher than other beings, a necessary being, a unmoved mover, a uncaused cause. Is there a relationship between science and faith? Who is behind science? And to whom is faith subscribed? Who creates and sustains a scientific mind? Simply asking, who is the creator of a scientist? A scientist discovers. Now, is anything discovered by a scientist new to God or a deity? From the account of creation, we learn and know that God created. Is there a way that nature and visible things came from nowhere? And what is nowhere? Does the term nowhere have a dictionary meaning? This challenges our understanding, and this challenges any question against science. So, that's why in this paper, I am analyzing the mutuality, linkage, and interdependence between science and faith. Can science and faith be friends? Can science and religion be friends? Now, we have one man who is really known in the world of academia. This is Galileo Galilei, the Italian astronomer, physicist, and engineer, who is the father of observational astronomy, modern physics, scientific method, and modern science. Galileo Galilei championed Copernican heliocentrism, which is a concept behind the understanding that the earth rotates around the sun. When Galileo Galilei came up with this concept that the earth rotates around the sun, he was strappingly criticized by Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, which are monotheistic Abrahamic religions. Because of the annoyance that Galileo Galilei has crossed the line, he has questioned the knowledge, the religious knowledge of Christians and Muslims that God is the sole creator of the universe, of the earth, and no more comments no more challenge, no more views should be given about what God created, which was perfect. So, because Galileo Galilei was subscribed to the Catholic faith, Christians, Muslims, and Judaists raised voice against the Roman Catholic Church, where Galileo Galilei was a member. Because the Roman Catholic wanted to take action and show the world that they were also against Galileo Galilei's views on creation, the Roman Catholic Church in 1615 dismissed Galilei's scientific discoveries as foolish, absurd, and heretical. Consequently, they put Galileo Galilei under a house arrest until his death in 1642 AD. So, Galileo Galilei is under house arrest so that he cannot cause influence, so that he cannot continue punching more holes on Christianity and questioning God. Galileo Galilei dies in house arrest in 1642. But that did not stop. In the 19th century, many years after the death of Galileo Galilei, the 16th century era of enlightenment advanced more discussions which questioned the religious beliefs and practices which were against scientific discoveries and innovations. Religion was being questioned because some religious arguments needed support. People were dying of sickness. People needed locomotive engines to move from one point to another. Religion seemed not to answer all questions of life. So people were in a rush to discover, to invent, and to defend faith. So in the 19th century era of enlightenment, many questions were advanced which questioned the religious beliefs and practices which were against scientific discoveries and innovations. The more religion was questioned, the more Galilei's Copernican heliocentrism lingered in the minds of religious leaders whose predecessors thought that Galileo Galilei was heretical, irreligious, malicious, and antagonistic to religion and belief in God, a superior being. Because these questions were so many, and some scientists who are not even Christians, Muslims, or Judaizers, came with the discoveries which solved the problems of the time. Engineering discoveries, medical discoveries, some which were very, very useful even in the religious circles. So this sent religion to a drawing board. Something is wrong. Then this is how religious leaders of the time remembered of the once upon a time Galileo Galilei, who was put under house arrest, who died in 1615. So in 1718, the church's reassessment on Galileo Galilei's scientific views deduced that he was right, regretting the torture and the punishment he was conferred by the church. So they were ready to apologize to Galileo Galilei, but he was dead. They were ready to speak to him. They were ready to vindicate him. They were ready to talk to him and give him space to explain his Copernican heliocentrism, that the world, the earth rotates around the sun. But he was not there. Nevertheless, they vindicated his views. They wished that that time Galileo Galilei was given hearing. If he was given more hearing, more scientists from religious spheres would have been. More scientists would have been, and faith and the science would have been given a lot of attention, and the science would have really interdepended on religion. But you know what? Everything happens because of a reason, and time is of the essence. So, the vindication of the views of Galileo Galilei motivated later religious scientists such as Albert Einstein, who is known for his famous statement that science without religion is lame and religion without science is blind. Meaning, science and religion need to dialogue, need to work together, need to march together. Because science and religion should be friends, not enemies. Because some questions of science, faith solves, and some questions of faith, science solves. By faith, we want to go to America. By faith, we want to go and preach in Australia. But we must take a plane which is made by a scientist to fly to Australia, to go to America. To cross the Atlantic Sea, you need a ship made by a scientist. For this message to reach you is technology, the YouTube, electronic media. So much is happening between me as I speak and you who is listening. And here, between my speech and you who is listening, is a scientist. A voice recording machine, the internet machine, brain, so many brains are at play before you receive this message. Albert Einstein, a later scientist after Galileo Galilei and many more, says that science without religion is blind, and religion without science is lame. So the relation of mutuality, linkage, and interdependence between science and religion enabled the church to see God through the spectacle of science. Therefore, my dear listener, this paper, which I am seeking to do, will cultivate the centrality of science in equipping religion with the variety of applications, enabling adherents to engage their religion with ease, comfort, and luxury. Further, the paper will analyze specific applications and innovations which help adherents to be edified socially, morally, spiritually, and intellectually. How much has the church grown with online preaching? How much has the gospel of Jesus Christ reached several parts of the world because of internet, YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, name it. It's a question of producing that information or message you have, then throw it to the air, and everybody, in a span of 5 minutes or a second, everybody is enjoying at the comfort of their armchair, at the comfort of their sitting room. Yes, at the comfort of your bedroom, you listen to the gospel. Consequently, religion has benefited more from science. How has a scientist benefited from religion? A scientist keeps researching and discovering. The more he discovers, the more he feels humbled that there is more that exists. And the more that exists explains more about a being, of a superior being, a creator and a sustainer of life, a creator of the universe, the first cause, the uncaused cause, the unmoved mover. Ladies and gentlemen, so descriptive research survey on this, when I believe I will collect all data from scholars, clergy, church members and scientists from various selected religious bodies in Kenya and beyond. The findings of the study will help religious groups, churches, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Shintos, Confucius, traditional religionists. Data from this study will help us all discover how much religion needs to appreciate and utilize scientific applications and discoveries in the enhancement of faith among their adherents in the 21st century. Therefore, seeing God through science, wearing the spectacle of science, and see God clearer. And the more we see God clearly, the more we become His friends. And the more He will create more scientists to discover more. And the more they discover, the more they inform each other that there is a lot in the world that is owned and created by God. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, there is mutuality, linkage, and interdependence between science and faith in the 21st century. It is in this century that we need to see God more because of scientific discoveries than people in the olden times, the 16th century, who actually, in their limited understanding, in their not many discoveries, they were humbled and said, for sure, God exists. Then in the 21st century, we are supposed to say more. We are supposed to comment more on the existence of a superior being, God. Thank you, and may God bless you as you wait for the final product, the publication of this paper, mutuality, linkage, and interdependence between science and faith. Thank you, and God bless. bless you. My names are Dr. Bernard Gechiko Nyabwari.